Welcome back. We apologize for a very weird technical glitch that occurred there, and we got sort of lost our stream. But we are back. Welcome to Super Sunday Live on SFPN Rhode Island. I was joined through the show by my co-host for the show, the host of Titletown Throwdown, Nick LeBlanc, going to work here on getting Nick's connection back in, and we can continue on with the show. We were talking about the special teams surrounding the Super Bowl, the X Factor, of course, obviously, with Harrison Butker for the Kansas City Chiefs, with Ryan Succop, the kicker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And we are going to hopefully be able to continue that discussion, because we also need to get into talking about the X Factors of the coaching staff as well, between Bruce Arians and Andy Reid. And we are going to do this is actually going to take a very quick commercial break, and then we will try to figure out what's going on here and get back up and running. You're watching Super Sunday Live on SFPN Rhode Island. Welcome back to Super Sunday Live. I think we got a gremlin in the line or something there. Just kind of just lost our feed all of a sudden. But with that being said, we are back. Nick LeBlanc, host of Titletown Throwdown, got back with us on the show now, and we were, before we got abruptly dismissed. Whether whatever it might be, I know things are.
It might have been Sebastian when he went to X out of the link. He might have accidentally pressed end stream. That maybe. man, I mean, how is he supposed to know how this works? He's 8, but his sports knowledge is whew.
We got one of our kid reporters. We're gonna make him a kid reporter. I'm telling Jared now. That's it. Like we're taking Sebastian. We're making him a kid reporter. We're gonna we'll have him down at the Super Bowl next year, on the field, doing interviewing all the players. Like, what's your favorite Super Bowl meal? He'll probably go down there with harder questions, and they'll be like, "Wait a minute, what?"
Yeah, it's like who's this 9-year-old?
Who gave him a credential? So we were talking about special teams, and and obviously what we were talking about with Hardman and the muffed punt situation that's happened, and then obviously, the kicker. Before we were cut off, we were just about to get into talks about the kickers. Butker being able to drill a 60-yard field goal. Ryan Succop has been very reliable for the Bucs this year. What is the X factor in the special teams for this game?
Really, I mean, both kickers, they just got to make their kicks when called upon. I mean, we look at Steven Gostkowski, a couple times with the Patriots, his missed field goal attempts in the playoffs. They've come back to bite the Patriots, and the Patriots end up losing the game, unfortunately. So, it's all about the kickers just making their accurate execute kicks, just get it through the uprights. It doesn't have to be pretty, even though I prefer that is not, giving your whole family a heart attack in the process. But making kicks, though. But really, when it comes to the punt returns and kick returns, just set your offense up in decent field position. Don't do anything too fancy. Hang on to the football. Because any type of turnover on special teams, whether it's a field goal, a punt, or a kick return, it could turn costly.
So the other side of this is also the factor that most people don't really talk about when it comes down to Super Bowls, but is the coaches. And obviously everyone wants to talk about Kansas City and what Andy Reid has done there, winning the Super Bowl last year. Obviously, you can say that Andy Reid, with what he did with the Eagles and now what he's done with the Chiefs, is clearly one of the top 10 coaches in NFL history. But there's a few things that a lot of people don't really know or might not remember so much. Steve Spagnuolo, defensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs, has beaten Tom Brady in a Super Bowl, i.e., New York Giants. Mm-hmm. So when that comes down to it, if you look at this from a perspective of the X factor being the coaching staff, Bruce Arians, yes, is a great head coach. Todd Bowles, on the defensive coordinator, has certainly changed a lot of things around for Tampa Bay. Byron Leftwich has, clearly shown he's a better coach than he was a quarterback. Do you see the Chiefs having a better opportunity?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, Bruce Arians, he's coaching his first ever Super Bowl here, and Andy Reid, he's been here already a couple times in the past. One time with the Eagles, another time with, last year with the Kansas City Chiefs. So obviously, coaching wise, the Chiefs have the upper hand, but really, it's just going to come down to whose game plan is going to be executed more. Whether that's going to be Todd Bowles' defense or Spagnuolo's defense, one of the two. It all depends on who can execute more and who can make a great play. It just takes one play on offense or defense for a game to turn around completely. So Todd Bowles, he just needs to tell his defense, just execute your game plan. You execute your game plan, you're going to come out of this with the win and maybe force Patrick Mahomes into a turnover or two. The Dolphins picked him off twice and a half before Mahomes figured it out.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how that goes. I know that we're going to, we want to get obviously into breakdowns and our thoughts on it, but we've got one more special guest to bring into the show, and he is decked out in his Bucs jersey. I can see it. The TB12 jersey from the Tampa Bay Bucs. The man who makes all of this possible for us, for us to be able to do our shows and everything. The president and CEO of SFPN Rhode Island, the boss man. He puts it right there on his nameplate. Ron Robert. Ron, thanks for joining the show.
No problem. I'm trying not to die right now on camera, which will get you guys a lot of views, I'm sure. I'm in a damn blizzard out here trying to. Holy shit. It's crazy. Yeah, look. There we go, baby. Rocking that Brady.
All right. So we can get this out of the way right now. You can pull up the Game Picks card and add another tick over there on the Bucs line. So here is the Game Picks card. It's going to go to another tick on the Bucs line. And we are now at 6-2 for the Buccaneers. I think with only 2 votes left to be put on the card, we can probably declare this one and say that without question, the consensus of most of the SFPN Rhode Island family is that it's going to be a Bucs victory, and we may have. Hopefully, Ron didn't die. We just lost this video.
Hopefully, he's driving safely.
I think we got his audio back. There you go. I'm doing donuts.
My car's an all-wheel drive, but it's not really made for the snow. I probably should be living in Tampa. Let me guess Zach picked Kansas City, and okay, wait, hold on. You said there were 2 KC picks, right?
2 KC, yep.
All right, so Zach, and I don't know everyone you had on, but you said Marvin and Todd Krieger couldn't get on, right?
That's correct. We didn't get right. Todd Krieger and Todd Chattel and Marvin on.
All right, so you didn't have Todd or Marvin. Wait.
Coach Jay was on. Coach Jay was going to pick.
Well, right. No, yeah. I'm trying to think who else you guys had on. I don't know everyone that you had on, but Wait, so who the hell
Gianna
else
picked the Chiefs.
Who picked who?
Gianna.
Oh, well, that makes sense. She likes the Yankees and no, it makes sense. That's okay. I love Gianna. Whoa, you guys see what's happening right now? I love Gianna. She can pick whoever she wants. She's a great girl. So obviously I'm gonna pick the Bucks. Did you guys put the Vegas line out?
The Vegas line is 3.
Right. So if I'm gonna pick a straight up win, I'm taking the Bucks. But so what? Kansas City's giving Tampa 3.
Kansas City is favored by 3.
Right. So I'm gonna take Bucks straight up to win and points because I feel like I don't even know. I feel like I'm stuck. That's what I feel like. I feel like that that the Bucks are. I think the Bucks are gonna probably win by at least 10. I don't think it's going to be a field goal game this time around. It's either going to, I'm picking the Bucks to win, so I can't say this, but if anyone picked Kansas City to win, they probably picked it really, really tight. Right? Did Zach throw points out?
Everybody's been between 3 and 5.
No. No, this will be a Brady victory landslide. 10 points. That's huge. And Patrick Mahomes goes out in the 3rd with a concussion.
You are the second person on the show today who has said that was going to happen. So
Coach Jay was the first.
And let me tell you this. Hold on. Whoa, Jacob. Oh my God, this kid is such an idiot. All right, get in. No, guys, it's really so bad out here. All right, so here's what I think. I'm gonna try first I think I'm gonna try and at least get out of this parking lot. Yeah, that's what I think. All right, well that's not happening. So here's what I think. I think Mahomes, if the Bucks go up by 7, maybe 7. Okay. If the Bucks go up by 7 and you're going into the 3rd, I think Patrick Mahomes will miraculously end up with a concussion. Somehow.
Miraculously
Miraculously.
He's going to miraculously end up with a concussion and bow out. Or he goes Super Saiyan like we know he can do. And then, I'm screwed. That's just the way it's going to be. Anyone disagree with that? Because I'll tell you right now, I know it's hilarious, but if Mahomes decides to kick it into 5th gear, if the chips are down and dude just goes, this isn't happening, then I don't know who could stop this guy. He's unreal. But if Brady comes out with the game plan and the Bucks have their defense in check, no reason why they shouldn't win this game.
I think I actually have to agree with you. I think this is going to be one that so many people say the Chiefs are poised to win, but I think on the opposite side of this, I think the Bucks, if they can hold on to the ball tonight, if they can not have turnover issues, if they can hold on to the ball, I think the Bucks certainly have a way to get out with the win tonight, and it'll be a win at home in Tampa Bay. Who can ask for anything better than that?
What's your pick? What's your score, Nick? You must have given a score.
We still got one segment of the show to go. We haven't done our picks yet.
Oh, he's finished. Oh, you guys are gonna do it like that? All
right. We gotta save them for the end.
No, that's cool. I already know who Nick is picking.
The world of TikTok already knows my pick.
Yeah, I already know. I just wanted to hear his points. I know who he's picking.
The only thing the world of TikTok knows is that you might think this is another Super Bowl pregame show, but nope, it's a Tide ad.
What is a Tide ad? What is that anyway?
You don't remember that from the Super Bowl last year when they had all those commercials that you think this is another commercial about insurance, but nope, it's a Tide ad.
Oh no, I forget. I must have been really shit-faced during all that. I can only imagine. I was probably pretty drunk. I was like,
the way that this goes tonight.
if it was like Ty Dad, I was probably like, okay, there's a few different ways you can go with that, right? It's like a really bad dad joke, or it's a really like racist joke. I was like, what is that, Ty Dad? I'm like, what are you guys trying to do here? And then I was like, wait, what is Ty Dad? And now, no, it's a Tide ad.
Yeah,
You got
there
it.
you go.
Oh, all right.
There you
All
got
right,
it.
I was thinking Baghdad, Ty
You
Dad.
don't remember the one with Amy Schumer?
Huh?
You don't remember the one with Amy Schumer?
Oh, that's right, Amy Schumer.
Yeah, there
That
it
funny one in
is.
2016.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
Oh my
look.
God,
All
that
right,
was
well,
so funny.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
here right around that time. There's going to be less of that today because of this. I don't really know what I'm going to do. Supposed to go to the Gentleman Cigar Bar on Pontiac Ave in Cranston. Check it out. I'm supposed to go over there, but I'm not sure if I'm going to make it. This is pretty bad.
All right, so Super Bowl Sunday, we've got about 2 hours to go until kickoff. We've got about another 40 minutes left to go on this show, and we've got a lot still left to discuss because Nick and I have got to get into our thoughts, our picks on the show. But before we send it to commercial, Ron, thank you so much for everything that you do for us here at the network, and thanks for joining us on the show today.
Nah, you guys, thank you for what you guys do, and for everyone else who joined your show today. You guys are all my peeps. I love you. You guys are the best team in the world. We're crushing it out there right now, and it's all because of you. So I just want to say thanks. I mean, we're literally absolutely crushing it. So I just wanted to say thank you. And hey, who you guys have up next? Who's left?
You're the final guest on the show, man.
Of course.
You get to. We saved the best for last. We saved the
Right.
boss man for the show. We're gonna go through. Gonna go through our breakdowns and picks. He's got the socks hat out.
There you go.
I'm just trying to front. You know what I mean? Like I was gonna wear a Patriots hat, and I was like, nah. I was like, I better not. People, it's just too much for people to understand. I saw this great picture today. You ever see that picture of Brady? But it's like it's an edit, and it's like his Michigan jersey underneath his. You guys have obviously seen that, right? So they have a Bucks Patriots one, and I was like, wow, that's like way too like saucy, but it's such a great picture. I'm gonna make it the screensaver on my phone if I decide to go to the bar, and just shove it in people's faces. It's really saucy. You gotta look. It's like one of those things. Everyone's like out there saying, "Oh, new Bucks fans." Listen, I like the Bucks. Patriots are still my team. Everyone can shut up. I'm riding the Brady train all the way till it's over.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't care.
All you can do.
The Brady Gronk train.
You could be a fan of the players, but you don't have to like the team.
Right. What about all those LeBron fans? I mean, how many teams they bounce around to? Oh, all of a sudden you're a Lakers fan. All of a sudden you're a Miami Heat fan. So first you were a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, but then you're a Miami Heat fan. Not even like, come on, get the hell out of here.
Then you're a Cavs
You know what I mean?
fan again. Then you're a
Now
Cavs
you're a
fan
Lakers
again, and
fan.
now you're a Lakers fan. Yeah.
Hot mess express. At least Brady will finish here, and then they'll do this big, nice retirement thing for him at Gillette Stadium, and it'll be done. That's
That
it.
sounds great. We saved the boss man for last, Ron. Thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it. And we'll see you
Love
soon.
you guys. Love you.
All right.
See you later.
Take care. So, Ron Robert, the president and CEO of SFBN Rhode Island, our last guest to the show. We've got a whole bunch more to go, and I'm going to do something that we haven't done yet in the 2+ hours we've been doing this show, which is completely hand the show. I'm going to go that way because he's that way on my screen. So completely hand the show to my co-host Nick LeBlanc. When we come back from commercial break, it's Nick's picks. Nick is going to break down his thoughts on the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl. And then after a commercial break following Nick's picks, we will wrap it up with who we both think is going to go and win the game and give you our final thoughts. You're watching Super Sunday Live on SFBN Rhode Island. Whoa, hey, let me find a good...
It's about that time once again. Knicks picks the final Knicks picks of the 2020 season. We had this the other night on Titletown Throwdown, but never really got a chance to share my full thoughts with you all. So this is my time for it right now. So there's a lot of factors that need to go into this game, okay? Because both offenses are very high powered, very well coached and managed. So on the Kansas City side, okay, let's break down Kansas City side first, then we'll go into Tampa Bay. For Kansas City, what I saw back in week number 12 that I would like to see a little more of is that they were up 17-3 at one point, and then they eased back a little bit. So for Kansas City on offense, you just gotta keep pounding the ball, hand the ball off to Bell, hand the ball off just to really everyone that's in that backfield. Offensive line, it's a makeshift offensive line, which is really going to hurt Kansas City, but they still really need to try to buckle down and protect him because look, Mahomes is still dealing with that turf toe. That's going to be a major factor in this game. So we have Patrick Mahomes right here. Protect him, keep him upright, and he can do his Houdini magic. Okay, he can do this. Patrick Mahomes, he can throw the ball sidearm. He can throw the ball no look. He can do it just about all. He can scramble out of the pocket if he needs to and pick up 10, 15 yards. Even with the turf toe, he's still extremely elusive in the pocket. So the key there for on offense, keep Patrick Mahomes upright, give him time. Allow Tyreek Hill to make another move if he needs to. Allow Travis Kelce to get open through the middle. Sammy Watkins to get open. Just allow all of his options to get open. Keep him upright. Don't let anyone hit him. He's going to be gorgeous. Now, on the Kansas City side of the football, you can't let up defensively. Again, that's what happened in Week 12 between these two teams when they met in Tampa Bay. Kansas City's defense, they eased up a little bit. They gave some room open for Gronkowski to get open, Evans to get open, Godwin to get open, Cameron Brate got open a little bit, Antonio Brown got into the fray a little bit. So for Kansas City, you can't just really expose yourself because if you expose yourself, Tom Brady will pick you apart left and right, and he will do it at will. You escaped the 27-24 victory, but you allowed Tampa Bay to come back into that game, and that is something that you cannot let happen. So if you get a big lead, put the pedal to the metal, get pressure on Tom Brady, cover up all Brady's options. Give Brady know where to run or move the football. You're going to walk away with this game pretty handily. So now we got to do this. On the Tampa Bay side of things, I'm going to start off defensively. Look, you got to double cover Tyreek Hill. Got to try to find a way to contain Travis Kelce. And though it is easier said than done. I get that. It's easier said than done. But the way we look at it is this, though, too. You have a guy in Patrick Mahomes who can beat you in many different ways. He won't be able to beat you if you put pressure on him. So if you're able to put pressure on him, so guys like Ndamukong Suh, Chris Jones, Jason Pierre-Paul, they are able to get into that pocket, find him, and put pressure on Patty Mahomes, it's going to be a long day not only for Mahomes, it's going to be a long night for that makeshift offensive line. It's really going to cause a lot of chaos because if Mahomes isn't getting any time, Tyreek Hill's not going to be effective. Travis Kelce won't be effective. Sammy Watkins, he might get a couple receptions here and there too. Then you really have to rely on more guys that haven't really made a huge impact, like a Le'Veon Bell. So it's all about containment for the Buccaneers in my aspect of it. You contain Patrick Mahomes to the best of your ability and force him into a turnover because he's not just going to give you a turnover. He's not. You got to force it in him. You got to force turnovers with these guys. So it's Kansas City. They are one of the least turnover teams in the NFL. I think they're the best team in not turning the ball over, I believe. So right then and there, if you can force a turnover, force the ball out, you got a chance. Offensively, it's very similar to Coach Jay said. Just open up the play. This is the game in which you just open up the playbook, unlimited plays, do everything it takes to win a game. Flea flickers, read option, trick plays, anything. And nothing's off limits in this game. Brady, we already know how good he is in spreading the ball around. He can get it to Cameron Brate. He can get it to Rob Gronkowski. He can get it to Mike Evans. He can get it to Chris Godwin. He can get it to Antonio Brown. He's even going to utilize Leonard Fournette and Robert Jones out of the backfield. He's going to utilize every single weapon he has. You take the check downs away from Tom Brady. Don't give Brady the short little throws. Make Brady throw it deep and get some pressure on him. Brady will struggle. And that's something that Brady and that offensive line has done really well. I think Tampa Bay's offensive line is much better than Kansas City's in this game than it is the first time around. Just Kansas City's missing a bunch of guys. Tampa Bay's offensive line is healthy. When do you ever see that out of a team's offensive line, that an offensive line can stay healthy for a duration of the season? You rarely see it. So for me, the key to a game, the key to a Bucs win is really all about containment. Contain Patrick Mahomes. Contain Travis Kelce. Contain Tyreek Hill. Look, both guys are still going to get their receptions. All right, you're not going to shut them down a whole game. You're not going to hold Tyreek Hill to one catch for 5 yards. You're not going to hold Travis Kelce to one catch for, whatever yards. Those guys are still going to average about 4, 5, 6 receptions. But if you limit their yardage, so say, they catch the ball 4 to 5 times, maybe 6, but you hold them to under 40 yards receiving, now that's good. And now that'll force, at the end of the game, Mahomes to be throwing it deep more, for them to be throwing more out routes. It gives your defense a chance to not only man up, cover everyone that needs to be covered, but get a pick. And that's when you got to do the double coverage. You don't double coverage Tyreek Hill, he will burn you. You don't cover him at all, he's going to burn you. Same with Kelce. If you just leave these guys open in the middle of the field, Patrick Mahomes is going to make you pay. It's simple as that. It's so simple. So, again, key for the Buccaneers, containment. Contain Mahomes. Contain Kelce. Contain Tyreek Hill. Force the Chiefs to run the football. Because the run game, it's not bad. It's not great. But it's not going to be their main vocal point in this game. So, with that, if you can force it right in there, you can force the Chiefs to change up their game plan, you're going to have a chance to win. Offensively, don't change your game. Don't change what you did in the first 3 rounds. Only problem is you can't take your foot off the gas pedal. You just can't. You got to keep your foot on the gas pedal. Don't change up anything. Only change up something if you're in a pickle. That's something that happened in Tampa Bay against Green Bay. Offense slowed down a bit, but the defense is able to pick them up. Now, look, Tom Brady's the only guy in the NFL that I know who could throw 3 interceptions and a half and still win the game because his defense bailed him out. And it's fine. It's still a team sport at the end of the day. If you're a quarterback, you throw 3 interceptions, but your defense holds the opposing offense to only 6 throughout the end of the 3, that's really good. That's really good. Look, it's still a team game at the end of the night, all right? The Buccaneers and the Chiefs, they're going to win as a team. They're going to lose as a team. Someone has to win this game. someone's going to win this game. It's going to be a tightly contested game. I think it could be an offensive shootout, but it will still come down to one defensive play. Now, whether that happens on special teams, whether that happens on the actual defense, whether it's an interception or a fumble, it doesn't matter. Super Bowl 52, it came in like this. Tom Brady, he got forced into a fumble because his left tackle and his right tackle got literally pushed back in front of him. He had nowhere to go. He fumbled the football. Eagles made the play. The Patriots defense, well, let's see. It's a 3rd and 15. They couldn't get off the damn field. So what does that tell you? So, if the Buccaneers defense is able to get the Chiefs offense off the field, and Brady and company, they're able to keep themselves on the field, the longer you keep Patrick Mahomes on that sideline, the greater chance you have to win. Same thing can be said about the Chiefs. You keep Tom Brady on the sideline, your chances of winning go up drastically. So, again, as I said, this is going to be a high-scoring affair type of game. You can go either way with this. The line's only 3. I can see the Bucs covering. I can even see the Chiefs covering too. The Chiefs are favored in this game, but the Buccaneers do have a couple advantages from this whole week that Kansas City didn't really have. And it's just one, and the difference is one day. The Bucs did not have to go anywhere. The Chiefs had to fly from Kansas City down to Tampa Bay, which again is a long flight, but still. They have to do walkthroughs in a hotel room on Saturday night, Sunday morning for final preparations. The Buccaneers, they went through their final preparations yesterday because they didn't have to go anywhere. Look, both teams were able to sleep in their own beds. Their own, go home after each practice. That's fine. But last night, though, the Chiefs had to sleep in a hotel room, while the Bucs were able to sleep in their own bedrooms in their own homes or apartments, whatever they had down there. It's going to be a tightly contested game. I think it's going to be a shootout. It'll still come down to a defensive play. I got 38-35 being the final score. Because I think both offenses are just too high powered to stop. It'll come down to the foot of either Harrison Butker or Ryan Suckup. It's going to come down to a kick. And the key is you can't miss the kick. And so, regardless of the yardage, regardless of what time the game is, what part of the game it is at. Let's say the Chiefs are at the Tampa Bay 30. They send Harrison Butker out to kick. And it's a 51-yard attempt, give or take. 40 yards, 50 yards, whatever it is. He misses the kick, whether it's short or goes wide left or wide right. First quarter might not mean much, sure. In a Super Bowl, means everything. Regular season can get away with it, okay? Regular season can get away with it because it'll just be one game on the schedule you can make up for the next week. There is no next week. This is it. You miss a field goal in the biggest part of the game, regardless of when it is. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. Doesn't matter. You miss one kick. It changes the complexity of the entire game. I'm going 38-35. I think the Bucs will cover the spread here. You can really go either way. But it's going to be a high-scoring shootout affair. But that is my pick, going the Buccaneers 38-35. It's going to be a very close game. I don't see overtime happening. I really don't. But anyway, when we do come back, Joel is going to come back in, and he's going to give you his picks for the game. You are watching a special presentation of a Super Bowl pregame here on the Sports Fanbase Network, Rhode Island.
Welcome back to Super Sunday Live from SFPN Rhode Island, joined, of course, by the host of Titletown Throwdown, Nick LeBlanc, who you just got the breakdown of Nick's picks. So now that they've got all that into the bag of tricks for tonight's game, let's get to it. The last 20 minutes of the show. Final thoughts. Here we go. So, with that being said, Kansas City Chiefs, are they the next Destiny team, Dynasty team, Destiny, Team of Destiny, the Dynasty, the whatever D word that you want to pull out for it? Are they the next Dynasty team in the NFL?
They absolutely could be. Look, they got a great quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. They got the team to do it right now. And they locked up Patrick Mahomes for the next 10, 11 years. So they're set. And the way Mahomes' contract to me is structured is that they can always take money out of his contract to go out and re-sign guys like Kelsey and Hill. And Mahomes purposely set it up like that so they can keep this team intact. They could be the next dynasty. Will it start tonight? Will they have the same header that Brady and the Patriots had back in 03-04, in which they didn't win one year, then went on to win the next 2 years? Yeah, potentially, and have a 20-year dominance run? Absolutely. I think the Kansas City Chiefs with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes at the helm, yeah, we could be looking at the next dynasty in the National Football League.
Prior to Super Bowl 55 tonight, no team in the NFL has ever hosted a Super Bowl, i.e. been the home team in a Super Bowl. The Kansas City Chiefs, should they win tonight, would have back-to-back Super Bowls. No team in NFL history has ever won 3. Are the Chiefs primed, possibly with the win tonight, to be the first team that could potentially win 3 Super Bowls in a row?
What? Why not? Why not? They're clearly the best team in football over the course of the last 2-3 seasons, even dating back to when Brady beat them in the AFC title game in 2018. So yeah, absolutely. They've already been to 3 straight AFC championship games. We saw the Patriots go to eight championship games in a row. So no, that's nothing new. But yeah, the Chiefs are by far the best team in football. They're superior than every other team, really. Pretty soon, we call the Super Bowl the Tom Brady Invitational. Pretty soon, we might be calling it the Kansas City Chiefs Invitational. Who's going to get beaten this year by the Chiefs?
One more thought on the Kansas City Chiefs. Travis Kelce, obviously, you can wax poetically for an entire show about how good Travis Kelce has been for the Kansas City Chiefs. Does Travis Kelce, and I'm not saying this is the end of the road for him by any means, he certainly seems like he's not slowing down any and wants to play for many years to go. Is Travis Kelce one of the best tight ends in the history of the NFL?
He is definitely in there at top 5. You can make a case for anyone. You can make a case for Gronkowski to be the best, George Kittle to be the best, Tony Gonzalez to be the best, even Travis Kelce. He's definitely in that top 5 mix. He still has a lot more fuel left to go in the fire. I mean, George Kittle, when healthy, he's glorious. Ron Gronkowski, when he's healthy and playing well like he is this year, He's a force to be reckoned with. So Travis Kelce could go down as one of the best tight ends of all time. He absolutely could. He plays the position like a wide receiver, but it's how the tight end position is supposed to be played half the time. Be a route runner and try to catch the ball and make a play.
Obviously, we talked back at the beginning of the show about Tom Brady. 10th Super Bowl appearance tonight. He has 6 rings already. He's looking for number 7. I know I personally have referred to Tom Brady a number of times as the GOAT. I think just about everybody in the NFL, whether you like Brady or not, for whatever reason, you want to talk about Deflategate, PhoneGate, whatever gate that Tom Brady comes out of, Gate 6 at Foxborough. I mean, come on, pick a gate, and they've somehow, assigned it to Tom Brady. I think the next thing we know, we're going to get a horse in the Kentucky Derby named Tom Brady, and they'll be like, Tom Brady coming out of gate number 10, to go off in the Kentucky Derby. But I grew up getting to watch Joe Montana. I grew up getting to watch Dan Marino. I grew up getting to watch John Elway and Phil Simms and Boomer Esiason and all the, Troy Aikman, all these quarterbacks that were Steve Young. I mean, just so many quarterbacks that I got to see, through the mid to late 80s into the 90s and everything. Does Tom Brady deserve, with all of the accolades that he's gotten, obviously, from being a part of the Patriots, to be considered the greatest of all time?
Why not? I mean, Brady made, I've reiterated this so many times, I'm going to reiterate it till I'm blue in the face or, on my deathbed. Tom Brady was the system here in New England. He made everyone around him better. All time, there's so many all-time greats, you can obviously have the conversation for it. In Brady's era that he's played in, yeah, I think Tom Brady is the best player in his era. I mean, realistically, we know Drew Brees is going to retire, within weeks or months or by now. Who knows when we'll get an official announcement from him. But Tom Brady, though, he'll be the last guy standing of his generation, because everyone else is already retired. He's already the last player of his own draft class. I'm pretty sure everyone in the draft class of 2001 to 2009 have already probably hung him up, except for Brady. Brady's the only old fart left. So, and look, I grew up watching Tom Brady, saw Brett Favre's back half of his career, grew up watching Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers. I watched all these guys, and they make case for all of them too. And it just comes down to who performed better, championships and all, and record wise. Brady might not have all the records, but he's been the most consistent quarterback of them all. So Brady absolutely deserves to be in the conversation of greatest of all time.
Yeah, and it's interesting. You brought up the point that I have said numerous times over when we get into these greatest of all time discussions. It's very hard to say greatest of all time because the game has changed so much over the generations and throughout, which is why I say even, so much. I put this in point to basketball is a really easy one to put this in line with. People want to talk about Michael Jordan as the greatest of all time. And I say Michael Jordan isn't the greatest of all time. And people look at me and think that I have, 6 heads or something. Is Michael Jordan a great player? Yes. Is he one of the greats of the NBA? Yes. Did Michael Jordan ever do what Wilt Chamberlain did? No. Wilt Chamberlain didn't have a 3-point line. Wilt Chamberlain didn't have a shot clock. Wilt Chamberlain had literally peach baskets hanging from a backboard. Wilt Chamberlain didn't have all the weight rooms and sports science and nutritional supplements and this, that, and whatever. And Wilt Chamberlain went out on a rickety wood floor at Hershey Arena in Hershey Park, Pennsylvania, and scored 100 points. With no shot clock, no 3-point line, no slam dunks, no any of this stuff, and scored 100 points in an NBA game. Now, does that make him the greatest of all time ever, better than anybody else? No, it makes Wilt Chamberlain the greatest of that generation. just like Jerry West was the greatest of his generation, and Larry Bird and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Kevin McHale and all those guys were the greatest of their generation. And Michael Jordan was the greatest of his. LeBron James is the greatest of his, and Steph Curry will be the greatest of his because he's a lot younger than LeBron James is. You know, and you could say the same for Luka Doncic or any of those other guys. So, yeah, Brady is definitely the greatest of his generation. And yes, if you look at the 5 quarterbacks or 6 quarterbacks drafted before Tom Brady, none of them played more than a year or two in the NFL. Some of them never even made it into the NFL. Gino Carmozzi, who was cut by the San Francisco 49ers in training camp. So that being said, yeah, I think you put it right there that it's also he is greatest of his generation.
They're generational talents. Brady's the greatest of his generational talent, and Patrick Mahomes, he's going to go down as the greatest of his generation too. It just saying, the game evolved so much from the 70s and the 80s. You don't have all the safety precautions that are in the game now. And Brady, he played in all that. Mahomes, he's playing that in that era too. So you can break it down by eras. Tom Brady is the greatest era of the 2000s to like mid 2010s. Patrick Mahomes, late to the 2010s to the 2020s, 2030s potentially. And then the next generation talent after that. It's just going to be an endless cycle. But the debate will always rage on who is the greatest of all time, and there is no wrong answer. You can go Joe Montana, you can say Peyton Manning, you can say Tom Brady. It doesn't matter. All are good options. They're all-time greats. Montana's in the Hall of Fame. Peyton Manning just got in the Hall of Fame. When Brady's career is all said and done, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Rob Gronkowski goes from the Patriots to retirement to the WWE to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Is Rob Gronkowski is he a great football player or is he just a great athlete?
He's a great athlete, better football player than WWE, honestly.
He did actually win a match and won a title, albeit the very weird 24/7 championship that they have. But he did actually win a match against R-Truth and did win the title. With a little help from Elias.
Yeah, exactly. He had a little help there. If he didn't have that help, I'm pretty sure Gronk would have done crushed or knocked out or something. But no, Gronk's a great athlete. Nothing. I mean, look how big he is. You and I look at him. We're just looking at him like, "Don't hurt me." That's all what it is.
Very true.
So, better. I prefer Gronk as the football player, and I think Tampa Bay would be smart to bring him back next year.
Antonio Brown goes from persona non grata in the NFL to the Patriots, kind of walks his way out of there with a bunch of trouble, comes down to Tampa Bay, and all of a sudden seems to be okay. Does Antonio Brown come back next year?
Well, I thought that experience was going to last 2 weeks. We're in week number 13 of that experiment now, so I was way off with that point. Why not? He's kept his head on straight. We haven't really heard much of him personal-wise, and that's probably a good thing if you're Antonio Brown and the Buccaneers and the NFL. So I'd take a chance on him. I'd give him, again, a small 1-year league minimum type of deal, another prove it or lose it type of contract. And if he proves that he can keep his head straight for a full 16-game season, then he might earn himself, a 2-3-year contract either still with Tampa Bay or somewhere else. I think it all depends on what Brady does after next season.
Final 5-ish minutes of the show. Hard to believe we've been doing this for 3 hours.
Yeah.
It kind of went. It kind of just went. It's been fun. Thank you all for those of you, whether you've been on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, whatever, who have tuned in. We've been getting people who have been tuned in from all over the world. People who've been tuning in from Italy, from South Africa, from China, the everybody's up and watching and tuning in, and we thank you so much for those who have tuned in and sent us comments and messages throughout the show. So we're gonna break this down. We're gonna go top to bottom on this one. So let's start off right with the position that everybody seems to put their eyes on: quarterback. Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. Who you got?
I love Brady. I really do. But I'm gonna have to do it to Mahomes here. A little bit more elusive than Brady is. He can extend plays a little bit more. So quarterback edge, I'll give it to the Chiefs.
Running backs, Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones, obviously huge for the Tampa Bay Bucks. Clyde Edwards-Helaire injured in Week 15, but obviously that has been where Darrell Williams has come in to big play. You heard Coach Jay mention about Mecole Hardman as well too. Running backs, who you got?
Bucks running backs all the way. It's no question. They're far superior than the Chiefs running game, and really the Chiefs running game is sometimes non-existent. So I'll go with the team of Fournette and Jones.
This one is really hard. I would be almost okay with people saying push on this one. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski. But you also then have on the opposite side the quote-unquote Legion of Zoom for Patrick Mahomes, that you have Tyler Johnson, Scotty Miller, Sammy Watkins, Mecole Hardman, Demarcus Robinson, Byron Pringle can get into that mix too. It's just like, okay. I mean, push.
I had to go push. Both receiving towards just so deep. They're just so deep. You can't choose. So
yeah, you can also because you got to throw the tight ends kind of into the receivers mix. So you throw Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill into it, as well too. It's just there's too many people. It's just too many people. This one we kind of already talked about earlier in the show, so I know this one kind of works. Offensive line, the Chiefs have had to play mix and match since week. Whoa, lost your audio there. Got you back.
Yeah,
oh,
yep.
That's doing a 3-hour show for you. Chiefs mixing and matching their offense from week 2. Obviously, we've talked about the injuries that they have. The Bucks front 7. Tristan Wirfs, who we didn't even mention at a point during the show today, all rookie right tackle, and clearly one of the best draft picks that the Bucks got. I think a lot of people, when he got drafted, were like, "Who? Out of Iowa? What?" And Tristan Wirfs has been, I think, a revelation that a lot of people have gotten on the bandwagon. Offensive line, I want to say Buccaneers by a bit.
Yeah, Buccaneers. The Chiefs are working with a makeshift offensive line. It's worked out. But Mahomes did get into the division round against Cleveland. They didn't do a good job protecting them that game. They did better against the Bills, but the Bills' pass rush is not existent anyway. But the Bucks' pass rush will be existent and fierce in this game. So offensive line giving it to Tampa Bay. They'll keep Brady upright more.
Flip the side of the ball and go defensive line. Obviously, Tana Cosmo and Alex Okafor, the job that they've done. Derek Nottie and Tershawn Wharton have been doing amazing jobs. But the Bucks have Ndamukong Suh, Vita Vea, and William Goldston. I think you might possibly lean to the Bucks on this one.
I lean to the Bucks on this one. It's again, it's close call, but the name Ndamukong Suh, that should just strike fear in you right away.
Linebackers, this one I totally give advantage to the Buccaneers because you're talking about Jason Pierre-Paul and Shaq Barrett. You also have Devin White as well. And for the Chiefs, really, it's pretty much just been Anthony Hitchens and, whatever he can do. I got to go advantage Bucks.
Yeah, Bucks. Yeah. They've made, the Buccaneers linebackers have made more plays.
This one goes to the Chiefs. Honey Badger, Brashad Breeland, and L'Jarius Sneed in the secondary. The Bucks secondary are a bunch of who. So
Yeah,
I go.
I'm going Chiefs.
So gonna go Chiefs on that one. And we get down to the final one. Special teams. Harrison Butker or Ryan Suckup. Who do you got?
Both guys are reliable. But I've seen Suckup miss some pretty easy kicks in the past, and if he misses an easy kick here, I said this earlier, it's gonna be a bad omen already. So I'll go Harrison Butker for the Chiefs.
Coaching, it is Andy Reid against Bruce Arians, two guys who have been around for quite a while. We can't really call them old ball coaches, but they are pretty old ball coaches.
I'm going Andy Reid. He's been here. He's been in here multiple times. He knows how to win. He won his first Super Bowl as a head coach last season. He knows what it takes to win. Bruce Arians. He's been a head coach for a while, but he's never coached on this stage. So I'm giving the coaching advantage to the Chiefs.
Steve Spagnuolo, we also mentioned, who beat Tom Brady in a Super Bowl, is on the line as defensive coordinator for the Chiefs. And with that being said, we have reached the end of Super Bowl Sunday Live. So it is now time to get in the last word, our picks for the game. I'm going to give it to you, Nick. Who do you got?
Buccaneers 38-35. It's just going to be an offensive type of shootout, but it will come down to a defensive play, or it'll come down to either a made field goal or a missed field goal, one of the two.
I am going to probably aggravate some people with this one. I have all the love in the world for the city of Tampa. I have all in the love in the world for Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, but I am a Missouri boy. I was born in Columbia, Missouri. I have seen Arrowhead Stadium. I have seen Chiefs Kingdom. I have a lot of very close friends who are Chiefs fans, and
you're outnumbered.
and even despite the bling, even despite the bling, and I will always forever love Super Bowl championships in New England, Patty Mahomes is something special to see. I love what the Kansas City Chiefs are doing. I think, yes, this game is going to be very close. I am going to go 43-40 Chiefs over the Bucks, and Harrison Butker makes Tom Brady feel what it's like to be on the other end of a game-winning field goal.
Oh man. Man. I think it's going to come down to a missed field goal by Butker.
Oh, all right. That is that. So we have hit the end of the line. Super Sunday Live. We are getting off of our air so we can go do all the fun Super Bowl things. Nick, be safe in the snow.
Oh yeah, I thought about a drive that would normally take me 25 minutes is probably going to take me 55 minutes.
Be safe in the snow tonight. Thank you to all of our guests that we've had over the course of the show. Gianna Cambria from Play Like a Girl, Coach Jay Morgan from Todd Gronkowski Show, Zach Drapo, host of MMA Complete, Jared Tillinghast, host of We Rise podcast, the boss man, the president and CEO of SFBN Rhode Island, Ron Robert, checked in for a while. We were hoping to have former NFL quarterback Todd Krieger, who hosts the Elite Football Recruiting Show on our network, be able to tune in. He was coming back from a quarterback camp in New Hampshire and got stuck in the blizzard that is Massachusetts and New Hampshire and the New England region right now. So we were unable to get Todd on the show. Hopefully we'll be able to do something with him to be able to talk maybe after the Super Bowl in the week to come. But with that being said, Nick, thank you so much. Look forward to seeing what you've got on Titletown Throwdown this week as the Super Bowl has ended. and where that will all go. And for all of you out there across the nation and across the world who've tuned in on all of our SFBNRI platforms, we thank you so much for tuning in. This has been a very great and very long 3-hour edition of Super Sunday Live. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the game. We'll see you all soon. Take care.
I got one thing on my man. Bring me back. One play at a time, dog. You gonna do this again? The whole way through. The whole thing. 1, 2, 3.